Good bounce back, probably the most complete game, top to bottom, on all facets tonight by our guys. And refreshing to see after what's been going on. So they came out and Carlone set the tone very well on the mound. Our hitters came out swinging against a really good arm. That kid's got a outstanding arm, mid to upper 90s, and our guys came out and were on time for the fastball. Contributions all the way up and down the lineup, which was big. Played good defense and attacked the strike zone very well on the pitching side. So complete performance. There wasn't one hero today. There was a lot of guys that contributed and threw the ball really well.
We saw a lot of consistency on both sides of the ball. Can you talk about how that contributed to the success of tonight's game?
Just when you're consistent in all facets of the game, you give yourself an opportunity to win. And we've had a really good day of practice yesterday, just working on getting back to the fundamentals of things. And for example, first inning there, Sanders gets on base and attempts to steal home right there with 2 outs, and Carlone didn't panic, stepped off, and that's something that we've worked on yesterday. There's a lot of those detail things that we worked on yesterday, trying to prepare for these guys, because they throw a bunch of different tricky scenarios at you, and our guys did a really good job staying composed in those moments and executing plays.
You talked Wednesday about wanting to get more protection for Landon. Behind him, New tonight, Dean, Austin, Smaldino, Zavora, all guys contributed on the offensive end. What is that like for you to see after you kind of call them out a little bit to get more protection for him when you see 5 different guys really stepping up, contributing on the offensive side?
Well, I mean, we know they're all capable. It's just a matter of finding the right mix and putting them in the right spots. Sometimes it's a tricky thing to do on who's going to be that guy behind you. You want to keep your lineup lengthened out as much as possible, but at some point in time when Landon's swinging the bat the way he is, they're not going to pitch to him. We got to put some thump behind him to make them at least think if they're going to go ahead and put him on base, they're in for potentially a big crooked number with the guys behind him. And so we had to shuffle the lineup a little bit and see how that works. Obviously it worked well tonight, and we'll see how it goes again tomorrow.
Last year the Baylor series was a potentially defining weekend, and with the timing almost matching up the same time this year, do you think any of your returners are kind of remember what happened last year against this team and are trying to channel that this weekend?
I bet if you asked every one of our guys that was here last year, they would have no memory of last year on that series. This is a new team. It's a new personnel. They're just we're just focused on playing one game at a time, and that's all we can control. That's kind of been the message as of late. Not anything we can do about last week or last year or our last game. We just got to focus on what we can do today.
11 strikeouts for Cole, his second week with 11 strikeouts, responding to that Utah outing. What have you kind of made of him tonight, and then overall just kind of this stretch responding to that outing?
He was pretty good tonight. 11 punch outs through 100 pitches through 6. We got a little spoiled last weekend. That was probably the best outing of his career last week against BYU, but came out and threw the heck out of it tonight. They got him a couple times there. The Sanders kid's a good player. He got him to right center on a pretty good pitch, and the catcher ran into one there for a homer to left. But outside of that, he threw the ball outstanding. He was pretty much in control most of the night.
After being in and out of the lineup from the beginning of the season, before it feels like he's established himself in there. Just how rewarding is it to see a guy, work his way into the lineup? First career multi-homer game today.
It was a big day for him, and he's been working hard. Obviously, we've had some guys that are not as locked in as they would like to be, on the offensive side of the game, and all you can do is continue working, continue grinding, and trying to solve the Rubik's Cube, if you will. But the biggest thing for him is getting back to the simplicity of hitting a good solid foundation and swinging strikes, and stay within himself. And when he's able to do that, his hands are allowed to work the way they're supposed to. And please don't tell him he's a home run hitter. That's not what he needs. He needs to stay in the middle of the field and hit line drives, and those home runs happen as a result of catching it in the zones that he's supposed to. So when we start trying to do that, it doesn't work very well.
What was the thought process behind the Garrett Michelle pinch hit and then the Sam Myers pinch hit for Garrett Michelle?
Bottom line, we're rotating that spot right now, and guys are getting opportunities, and we got to keep Garrett Michelle as sharp as we can. He's not getting a lot of at-bats here as of late, just simply because New's the agent, right? And once New's getting healthy, which I think he's getting close, we got to have his bat sharp when that happens. So just again, trying to mix guys in there, tried to get Longo back in there today and trying to get him going a little bit, try to keep Sam Myers sharp. Polkey didn't play today, but we got to keep him sharp, and Kai McGarry, there's a lot of mouths to feed to keep those guys in there and keep them sharp, and we'll go with the hot hand and the guys that are swinging the bat well.
Zavorak and Swaldino both echoed, they think it's a one day at a time, focus on tomorrow. But is there anything you want them to notice about their performance as a team tonight that you want them to carry into the rest of the weekend?
I just told them that's the standard. That's my expectations. So, right, wrong, or indifferent, that's what I expect out of this team.
Coach, can you talk about the impact of Coach Ellison has brought on the team in the batting? Landon ranked #1 in Big 12, second in the nation, 5 home runs tonight.
Ellie's done a great job with these guys, and adapting to his coaching style, and he's still fresh on the college scene a little bit, so there's still things he's learning, but as a whole, I think these guys pay attention to him and are learning a lot.
How does a game like this echo what you said in the season, where you can score in a multitude of ways with the 5 homers, but also Smaldino's double and a couple RBI singles as well?
That's what this lineup's capable of doing. They can beat you with the long ball and beat you with 1,000 cuts too if things are going well. So again, home runs, I've said it before, are a result of just continuous good approach and good swings. Do we have home run hitters on this team? Yeah, we got kids that can put the ball in the seats clearly, but we don't go up there thinking home runs. We go up there thinking good solid contact, hit it hard, not far, and trying to stick with our approach, and as a result of sticking to approach, good things happen, and sometimes that's home runs, sometimes that's doubles, sometimes that's singles, but however we score, I'm happy.
After Carlone goes 6 innings, the bullpen's been kind of up and down in recent weeks. How important was it for Sean Fitzpatrick to go out there and basically be untouchable for 2 innings?
Yeah, Fitzy was great. It's what we needed in that time of the game. It was, I think, 6-2 at that point, and we needed a couple more zeros to try to get to that back end, and whether we were going to go with Shave or Linder or Bucks right there, we were kind of debating to see how the 7th and the 8th went, and Fitzy just going out there and be very workmanlike, and 6 up, 6 down was great. I don't know how many punch outs he had, but 4, I guess. Face the minimum. That's what you need, and pitch count low, so he'll be able to bounce back maybe tomorrow and be ready to go tomorrow, if not for sure on Sunday. So that's efficiency, and that's what we needed.
With Cole, he got up to 100 last week, reached 99 today. Feels like the walks have gone down over the course of the season. He's gone longer in games. He continues to just improve as a starting pitcher overall. Does it still feel like there's more ceiling for him to grow as the season progresses?
Yeah, he got to 80 last week. We kept him at 80, 82 if I remember right. So the reason I know that is we're very strict on his pitch count with how important he is, and last week was a week that we got ahead fairly early, and we're able to add on and finish that game with and get him out of there with, I think, 80 pitches. So we kind of had a mini deload, I guess, if you will, just because we didn't want to keep throwing him 100 pitches every week. This is the first time he's inherited this kind of workload, and we want to be very careful and mindful of it. So last week was a good week to him, not get him up to 100 or close to it. So knowing getting him up there again this week, back up to 100, was right about what we were hoping to do, and ironically right on the nose, 100 after the 6th inning. So he had done his work, and still trying to find ways to get a little bit more efficient, but all in all, pretty good performance by him tonight.
What have you seen from the growth in his stamina over the course of the season, even with all the pitches that he's throwing? Tops 100 last week, those 99 a handful of times tonight. What have you just seen from his ability to go for so long, also keeping all of the stuff?
You know, that's gonna happen as the season goes on and you get stronger and your body gets used to that workload. Again, it's just the trick for us is to not overtax him to where he goes backwards from week to week. And you know, Jeremy's done a good job managing him and the workload on what we have, and just gotta keep it going.
Any idea as of now who is going to go tomorrow?
Yeah, we're gonna go with T-Pen tomorrow. I think he's ready to go, and we got, you know, a lot of length behind him, so we'll start with him and see how far he can get us, and we'll go from there.
As you go into tomorrow, how important is it for you guys to find a third starter, just that third guy who can help you as you guys inch towards postseason play?
You know, we can try to search for the starting role title, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You know, we gotta get 27 outs, and whether or not you're getting those at the front end, middle end, back end, it doesn't really matter. We just need guys that throw strikes, pound the strike zone, get outs. Whether that means you're a starter and you do that at the beginning of the game or the end of the game, doesn't really matter. We still gotta get all those outs. So it's nice to, from an ego standpoint, to have specific starters in place, but at the end of the day, the same thing applies. You still gotta get all the outs in the game. So yeah, I mean, we have enough horses down there that we think we can utilize guys in the best roles possible to where we can get through games. And sometimes it's not always pretty, but obviously you'd like guys to start the game and go 7 innings every day, but this is college baseball. Things change every weekend.
You guys are kind of entering the stretch now. It feels the second last home series. You got 2 more road series, and you're into the Big 12 tournament play. How much confidence do you have this team can maybe separate itself from the pack?
We just gotta control what we can control, and that's I'm not looking at anybody else's numbers or stats, and we get in trouble when we do that stuff. So we're just gonna focus on what we gotta do, you know, block out any external noise, and just focus on our guys. And right now, the main thing is staying healthy, staying hydrated, starting to warm up a little bit. Some guys are cramping a little bit. They're gonna have to eat some bananas and make sure they don't cramp up and keep moving forward there. But end of the day, yeah, it's a stretch run. We all know it, and as long as we stay healthy and stay focused on what we have to do, we'll be just fine.
How do you feel like your players have been able to block out the noise up to this point?
Hopefully pretty well. We know it's there. We know it's there. There's going to be those things throughout the year, and again, can we control that? Nope, we can't. People are allowed to say what they want to say and do what they want to do, but our guys are very focused on what we're capable of doing, and that's the way I like it. So we're a tight-knit group, and we're going to stick with us and stay focused on trying to play winning baseball every day.
Can you talk about the 3 verses on the wall? Is that from you or from one of the other guys?
The what?
The verses on the wall?
Yeah, we have Bible study in here, and so we got good kids that are focused on the right stuff, and they focus on Jesus and talk about him a lot, which I'm proud of. And hey, it's I'd rather see that than them going out on Friday nights. So during the season, but we got a great group of kids. They have they got their head on straight. They focus on the right stuff. You know, that's in my opinion, that's probably the most impressive thing that these guys do. Is they you know, a lot of them have Jesus as their rock, and as do I, and that's you know, that's pretty special. When you got that as your center, not really a whole lot else matters.
Any more questions?